Hey YouTube, it's been a few, and just wanted to throw a video out for everybody. There's been a lot of questions, and I've received quite a bit of email on what I've been doing, what's happening, what's going on in the world of Cantburn and hydrogen. I've pretty much had to shelve some of my experiments for right now. I have a sick family, so I'm basically tied up taking care of them. I haven't shelved everything completely. I still want to get my truck running, but I did want to clear up some questions. First being, what happened to the truck? The truck problem with the melted spark plug electrodes and the overheating was my fault. It wasn't any fault of the cells that I was using or any one particular company. It's basically an oversight on my part for not having an exhaust gas temperature gauge or some type of gauge registering the heat in the engine. Also, I underestimated the power of the hydrogen and how much gas I was producing. This is where this comes in. When I hooked these up and I finally got the sequence right, and they were actually working in cooperation with the Hydro Super 2, and these, I'm not sure what the flow gauge actually read, because I couldn't, when I'm driving and when I'm operating these, I think it was putting out more gas than what I thought it was putting out. I really didn't do a very good job in monitoring the computer and how the computer was reacting to the gas and what was actually going on, and that's my fault. I didn't have a vehicle management computer, naive to certain situations on what the computer was doing and what the engine was trying to do, and then how much gas I was producing. And from what I understand, I scalded it pretty good. This is one of the cog cells made by REE Industries, Sean Reif. The cells just outdid themselves. I wasn't quite expecting the output from these guys. I have since taken the other system off, the Hydro Super 2. I want to play around with it a little more. I haven't quite given up on it yet. I think the two actually worked good together. Obviously they put out a lot of gas. The truck's down. It ran for a while, but when you run an engine that hot, unfortunately, I think I spun a couple of bearings, so it looks like I'm going to have to take the motor out anyway. It's either that or we have to. Well, I can't just jack it up. It's a four-wheel drive, so we got to pull the transfer case. I have to pull the motor out because you're going to have to drop the crank. So I'm not going to do that when it's sitting in the truck. It's too much of a pain. So that's not a big deal. I'm going to get my family situation straightened out and save a few funds, and maybe I'll just go ahead and drop a crate motor in instead of just going down to the salvage yard and paying a couple $100 for a short block. Maybe I'll just go ahead and invest in just a standard GM crate motor for that year truck, and we can start this party all over again. But this time, it'll probably be another set of videos. This time I'll probably get a computer to manage what I'm doing. The deeper I got into this, the more branches of the tree I discovered. Talk about pulse width modulation and all-in-one system computers, and then everybody had a different pulse width modulator set up. Some people had fans. Some people were talking about using a computer water cooling system like the Stingray and actually using water blocks on the PWM. So there's many facets to this hydrogen story. I've delved into just a couple of them. I do want to thank Sean Reif of REE Industries. I'd also like to thank Michael at fuelsaver.org. Those two gentlemen have been very instrumental in me getting as far as I did and getting the results that I did before I detonated the whole thing in my face. I'll get back there again. You know, like I said, it's nobody's fault but my own. It was just being naive and not monitoring the engine the way I should have been monitoring it. You learn from your mistakes and onward and upward. In the meantime, I'm driving the Grand Prix, new. I'm not going to modify it, at least not until I get another set of wheels on the road, because I'm sure there's plenty more mistakes to be made. Congratulations to all those people that are kicking 60 and 70 miles per gallon out of their systems. I would have loved to have gotten to that point. I don't think I would ever do that with a 6,000-pound truck, but I don't think getting 23 miles per gallon out of that vehicle is that bad for being a 95. Whatever was there? Somebody was asking me about the spark plugs I was using. They weren't platinum spark plugs. What I had in that truck was just your basic 99-cent AC Delco 1 electrode spark plug. Probably the cheapest one I could have probably pulled off the shelf and put in there. I didn't put them in. They were in the truck when I bought it. When I bought that truck, it was an eBay buy. I did nothing to it. I drove it home, threw my tag on, and I've been driving it ever since. In fact, 2 months after I bought that, I bought a Mitsubishi Eclipse on eBay, went to U-Haul, got a car carrier, towed the car carrier up, got the Eclipse, and brought it home. So I did nothing to it. I think the only thing I ever did to that truck was change the oil once. Everything else, everything I think I knew about the truck, it was all original. You know, wires, ignition. When we get this back up and going, and if you hear the wind in the background, that's Hurricane Ike going by to the south, ripping Cuba, a new one. So you might hear the wind blowing out here. Next time we're going to redo the ignition, everything. I might even just drop a new distributor. If I want to put a new crate engine in this, we're just going to go. We're going to build it up. It's still going to be stock, but it's going to be all updated components. I may probably, I'm going to either get 4 or 6 of these, the cog cells, and I want to try to write to Sean and see if I can't see if he can give me any tips on what would be the correct mixture. To either having 4 or 6 of these in a series, and I got plenty of room for them, and let him set it up for me, and I'll put it in and you know, redo the tubing. I found an old windshield wiper housing that I'm going to use for my bubbler. It's probably triple the capacity of the other bubbler I have. So probably have 2 gallons in the bubbler of fluid that we can circulate, plenty of airflow. So hopefully soon we'll get it up and running. Until then, keep digging, keep trying, and good luck to all of you. Until then.